All right, so this is the child rockers drill. All that you're going to do is start kneeling on the ground. Your toes are going to be pointed in towards each other and the heels away from each other. Knees are about hip width apart. We don't want them super wide, nor do we want our knees pointing outward. We want a nice narrow stance. Sit your butt back to your heels. So you can perform it with both your shins running parallel with one another and the heels moving away from each other, or you can cross the back of your feet. This helps actually reestablish the arch by working on that supinated position of your foot in this position. So you can also cross the feet, but as you cross the feet, don't let your knees splail out wide. So we still want a narrow stance if you choose to cross your feet. Again, you might find some asymmetries that happen between both feet, and your comfort in each of these positions with either leg cross. You should have symmetry between the two, and if you don't, then it's something where you may want to work on one side a little bit more than the other. So you can utilize all three foot postures. I would encourage you to utilize all three foot positions there as you perform the exercise. The rest of the exercise is about keeping the spine long, chest in front of the hips, send the butt back, keeping the chest up nice and proud as your chest is still in front of the hips. You do not arch your back. So keeping your sternum up proud does not mean arching your back. It just simply means keeping a nice long and tall torso. And as you can see here from the side, it's a nice 45-degree angle. Now the key to this exercise, as you sit your butt back, the rib cage goes back with it, but then as you stand up forward, your hips and your chest move forward. So the spine always stays at this 45-degree angle the entire time of the exercise. We're going to see a lot of people make the mistake with this exercise is as they go forward, they thrust up towards the ceiling and they thrust their hips forward. And that's not what we're trying to get out of this exercise. We're trying to work on forward locomotion patterns with this activity. When we're moving forward, our center of mass and everything in our body goes forward. Our chest, our nose stays forward over top of our hips, and we lurch out at a 45-degree angle, very similar to a sprinter coming out of the blocks. So this is not a hip thrust. So this is not a hip thrusting drill. This is not a glute bridge type drill where you're trying to squeeze your butt cheeks as hard as you can at the top position. We're actually trying to lengthen the glutes as you sit your butt back, keep your spine long, nose over top of the knees, and then lurch yourself forward and rock forward and backwards for the desired number of reps, typically 20 to 30 reps in each foot position. The easiest form of the exercise is with the hands on the ground. To make it a little bit harder, take the hands away from the ground, and then eventually you can even add weight. So holding onto a kettlebell, using a weighted vest, any way that you want to add resistance to the exercise. So do it at your current capability. All three foot positions for 20 to 30 reps in all three foot positions. Then you're going to hang out and feel the stretch in the very bottom position, holding that posture for another 30 seconds. Now, when you're holding this posture, some people also like the added benefit of moving laterally side to side. That's perfectly fine to consider this a dynamic stretch and get the body used to weight shifting side to side, head over top of foot, just as like what you would do when you're walking, running, sprinting.